in Vegas. I feel acclimatized to the time, and yeah, I'm looking forward to a good showing on Saturday night.
Yeah, and co-main event, right? That's nice. How do you feel about getting that slot?
Yeah, I'm excited. It's nice to get that slot on like a event with the crowd. Haven't fought at T-Mobile, so I look forward to it. It's going to be a cool experience.
Yeah, and this is a bit of a quick turnaround, right? We can say.
Yeah, pretty quick. I was planning on fighting in Sydney, but it just didn't work out. But yeah, I was planning on turning around pretty quickly after the last fight, so it worked out in the end.
You feel like you're kind of trying to make up for some lost time given some of the things that happened earlier in the year?
No, I'm just I've always wanted to fight consistently, so I'm just going to try and keep up a consistent routine and schedule and keep going.
Yeah. And how was it to see, fellow Australians and people from the Oceania region fight at UFC 293 and you're not getting the chance? Was it tough?
No, not really. I was lucky enough to fight in Australia at the start of the year, but it obviously would have been nice to save a bit of travel. But yeah, I feel like it was a pretty good event, and all the fighters put on good fights. So it was entertaining, and yeah, it definitely got me pumped up for this weekend.
Yeah. And what do you make of Kevin Holland? And also, is this somebody that you had in your radar? Did you feel like a fight with him was coming sooner rather than later?
Yeah, I did. I thought possibly by the end of the year I might fight him before the last fight, just from how everything was playing out. And so I think it's a good fight. I think he's a good fighter. He's got unpredictable style. It's pretty exciting. I'm looking forward to it.
Have you ran into him at all this fight week? I know it just started, but he seems to sometimes engage with his opponents. I don't know if you have.
Nah, I haven't yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
What are you expecting from him? Because he can sometimes, get a little bit of a rivalry going. He can be very cool. He's a bit of a wild box, let's say.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect. I don't really care. I'm coming to fight, so whatever happens leading up to it happens, but there's definitely going to be the time for fighting, so just waiting for that.
Yeah. And this is Noche UFC celebrating the Mexican Independence Day on September 16th. Obviously, you're not Mexican, but you do have some sort of a connection. Obviously, you're a great boxer, and given Mexico's history with boxing, wondering if you have any appreciation for Mexican culture and being on this card as well.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Mexican boxers. There's been some legendary ones, and yeah, I plan on getting into the inside and fighting in Mexican style.
Yeah. Thank you.
Jack, over here. When you look at the welterweight landscape, there hasn't been a title fight officially booked yet, and some of the top-ranked guys haven't fought in a while. Do you see this as a bigger opportunity for someone like yourself to go out there Saturday night, make a statement, and catapult yourself in the rankings and ultimately get you closer to the top?
I think so. I think a good win over Kevin Holland will get me into a nice spot to fight one of the top contenders.
And you mentioned there your thoughts on Kevin Holland, but did you catch that fight against Chiesa, and if so, what did you make of it?
I think it was easy. I don't think, by the looks of it, I don't think Chiesa really showed up, in my opinion.
And you also said that you're excited to finally fight at T-Mobile. What's that like? Are you going to be walking out to AC/DC now that it's back in an arena?
Yeah, I've got some cranking AC/DC to get me pumped up to fight.
And what would you say was your biggest takeaway from that Basile Hafez fight back in July that'll help you get that win Saturday night?
Just there was some small details. I think I made some mistakes during the fight, which is I think it's important to make the right decisions in the fight to get the win. So, but it was nice to just get 3 rounds in, push the pace a bit. Know that I felt like I was down in the fight and I had to sort of step it up the last few rounds. So it was good to overcome that.
And what's your message for all the fans from back home that are going to be tuning into your fight?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to perform for the fans. It's what it's about at the end of the day. And yeah, just put on a good performance, a good fight that they can remember for a long time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Jack. Is it safe to say you're the Australian Canelo?
Yeah, that's it.
I guess, how did you have a lot of the toxic MMA fans in your mentions talking about that Basile Hafez fight?
What was the question, sorry?
Did you have a lot of toxic MMA fans in your comments, in your mentions, DMing you about your last fight?
Yeah, of course. I think it's fair play. This is the sport for the fans, and I think they all have the right to their opinion. So it didn't really bother me, and I felt like it wasn't a good performance. So fair play.
Is it going to be nice to shut them up this this weekend?
It's hard to shut them up. You know, I feel like they're always going to be talking. So, but I don't really mind. It doesn't really bother me. I think it's just the way the sport is.
And then finally, obviously the Dana White's Contender Series is back right now. You got your contract off of that. Just how important was that show to you?
Yeah, it was very important. That was a pretty cool experience. Definitely one of my favorite fights I've had. It was a good introduction into the UFC, and since that, I always tune in and watch the Contender Series as a fan.
Did you see Kevin Jusay call you out after his win last week?
No, I didn't. I didn't see that, but yeah, I'd definitely run it back with Kevin any day, anywhere.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
Hey, Jack, right here to your left. I just want to ask real quick. You mentioned Sydney. Why did it fall through? Was it on your end, or is it just the card was too booked, or what had happened there?
No, I was ready to go. I think like a lot of the fighters didn't want to travel all the way to Sydney to get whooped. So, fair enough.
There you go. Thank you.
I know the focus is fully on Kevin Holland, but when you look at those welterweight rankings, is there a specific name that raises your eyebrow a little bit that you'd like to fight with in the future?
To be honest, all of them. I look at all of them. I think, they all raise my eyebrows. I think, I look at all of them as potential future matchups. So, really, any one of them, if I got given them to fight, I'd be very happy and excited.
Have you entertained any talks with Joaquin Buckley? I know a different division and all that, but now he's back at welterweight, but he's been, tagging you in a lot of stuff. I'm not sure if you saw that. Yeah,
obviously I'm trying to fight people in front of me, but one day hopefully he can get into the top 15, and I'd definitely fight him one day if it all works out well.
Fair enough. Thank you.